So no wala banang ni ka low of exponent. Ka video chilo dong. Kwa ngaji no exponent la kwa express in form of a power n. Expression man. Exponent expression. Kwa ngaji no logarithm la kwa express in form of log k base a. An expression man. Expression man. A logarithm expression. You know wala banang ni no law of exponent. Exponent didn't take a pi law. Law nyam. A law of multiplication of power the same base. Law of multiplication of power of the same base. Law of multiplication of power lado we take expression in a power of m times a power of n. It can get the same base a but it can get the same base. So we mana power again. So we power k a power of m plus n. So expression of law of multiplication of power is the same base. When we call our examples, we're going to get 2 power of 3 times 2 power of 4. So law of multiplication of power, we become mana power can do no base in by the one. So now we power k 2 power of 3 plus 4, which is power k 2 power of 7. So the manager law of power, law of multiplication of power is the same base. Lower order, a law of division, law of division of power of the same base. Law of division of power is the same base. So we take expression of a power of n divided by a power of n. So when they can get the same base, do not diagonal. B power ke denominator, B nang nial go, B ngong nial ke denominator go. So the expression of by a power of m minus n. So expression of law of division of power is the same base. One more example, we take on 5 power of 3 divided by 5 power of 2. You use the law of multiplication, law of division of power the same base. So the expression of about 5 power of 3 minus 2. This is the power of 5 power of 1. So the major law of division of power the same base. Law of division, a law of power of power. Law of power of power. Law of power of power. Lado we take a power of m times a power of n. So down the power again. E power to r can we try to look down. More law of power over power. So we express a times n, a power of n. Sorry, a power of m times a power of n. And then a law of power. More to conquer example. Look on 4 power of 3, power of 2. The law of power which con. If we count down the power, we count 2, we count down with 3. So a 4 power of 6. So the law of power over power. Law of 1 then. The law of power over product. Law of power of product. Although we take A times B. They can get the same power. So power man be distribute ne medium dang ne medium la. Bi jaka power ke bi jaka power ke b. Law of power of product la do muti ke a times b. They can get the same power. So power man by power in can so by a power of n times b power of n. So the man gen expression cái law of power of product. So one more just example. We can get 3 times 2. This is 2 power. They can get the same power me too. You know, get different bits. Get be to call get be to go. You know, they can get the same power. But when below by 3 power of 2 times 2 power of 2. So expression man. The law of power of power of product. The law of power of a product. Có con có nhầm. Law division. The law of power of a quotient. Law of power of a quotient. The law division. Arithmetic A divided by B. When taken the same power me and law of power of quotient. Or B power man by power in can deal. So by A power of n divided by B power of n. So the man a law of power of quotient. One more you can get examples. We can get 6 divided by 4. Okay, 6 divided by 7, sorry. We can get 6 divided by 7. Power of 3. Could be law of power equation be applied. We let it know. 6 power of 3 divided by 6 power of 7. Expression the law of power of equation. So cái lỗ nó đi thì mới chỉ cái tip. Cái lỗ ngô chắc chắn không được problem. Nó cái phone này. Thì solve. So nó là bạn nghĩ